Well, good evening, everybody. This is Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications and GeoCollaborate on this Friday, November 22nd. It's a little bit past 6 o'clock. Oh, well, almost 7 o'clock here on the East Coast. And we've been watching a lot of weather today, but also in a lot of meetings as well on this Friday. But I did want to provide this quick update and just give everybody a little outlook for Thanksgiving, where some of the impact areas might be here in the United States. That's what I'll be able to cover this evening. It's going to be a little short update, he says confidently. But what I do want to show you is some amazing dancing going on in the Pacific Northwest. Look at this. Here is that low pressure that bombed out earlier today. It wasn't quite as strong as this one when it did and created all those power outages. We did have very, very strong winds along the coast, 50, 60 miles per hour. And look, here is that atmospheric river coming right into San Francisco. Lots of flash flood warnings going on there, and officials asking people to stay inside. Do not go outside and drive around if you're anywhere near the San Francisco area, if you're driving north or south. A lot of rain there. That means a lot of mudslides because, when we have wildfires in the West, they create burn scars. And what burn scars are, it shows obviously where the fire was, but depending on how hot the wildfire was, it changes what's called the hydrophobicity of the soil. That's whether or not the soil can absorb water or not. If it's hydrophobic, it does not absorb any water, and the water runs right off. That's why in burn scar areas anywhere, when rain falls on those areas, it rolls right off, just like it was cement. And it could change the flash flood criteria. So even a half inch or 3/4 of an inch of rain falling on a mountain in a short period of time could cause major flooding. That, unfortunately, is what's going on in parts of California with these atmospheric rivers, where we've had 10, 15, 18 inches of rain falling in some areas, and the soil just cannot keep up with that. Even if it was just a regular soil, not burned at all, 18 inches of rain is something that it just can't handle. Plus, with this storm that's come in, this one here, let's go full screen. I'll show you what this looks like. I'll drag this over here. With this amount of moisture coming into California, the soil just cannot handle that much rain. Reservoirs in some areas full. If the reservoir managers, the water managers, let water out of the dams before this atmospheric river arrived, then that is good news, because some of them are filling back up. Some of these areas around Paradise in California, they are really taking it on the chin with heavy rain there around Chico. And those rains are coming right down the mountain. So some mudslides there. But look at this. They're doing the dance. Remember that Fujiwara effect that we talked about? This one is not going to really strengthen anymore. It's going to weaken. But look at this. This is the moisture coming in off the Pacific into San Francisco and Central California, into Reno and Tahoe, into northern Nevada, up through Idaho, and even into Montana. Higher elevations are getting some decent snows. As a matter of fact, I'll talk about that in the Tahoe area here in just a minute. But I want to show you something really cool, because, we've had, this is the Goes West satellite. I talked about the NOAA GOES 19 satellite, which is undergoing checkout because it just launched back in June. They're going through a checkout period. It takes about a year. And it's stationed over the middle part of the United States, over the equator, but over the middle part of the U.S. And I looked at the mesoscale sector from GOES 19 looking west towards this storm that's right off the Washington state coast. So take a look at what this looks like. It's really quite spectacular. Look at that. Wow. That is amazing. Here is the low pressure center. This is the mesoscale sector. So we're seeing imagery every minute. Right before the sun goes down in that area, it's still sunny there. So we see visible clouds. And look, they're rotating around counterclockwise. Can move over maybe just a little bit more. And look at this. Here is the coastline of Washington State right here, and you can see those clouds forming along the mountains. I know it's tough to see. I could zoom in, but it probably won't do any good. Because I really want you to see that low pressure center here. Look at that. Isn't that spectacular? This is not a hurricane. It kind of looks like a hurricane because it's spinning counterclockwise and has sort of an eye to it, but it's just the center of low pressure. And this is not a hurricane. It's kicking up big waves, that's for sure, around here. But this is just spectacular imagery. Look, if I move over to the east, I can see, let's see. Oh, I can't quite see the other low pressure center. There it is, right over here, just off the screen there. And you can see here's the atmospheric river going into California. So if I move to the east here, this is the coast of California. Here's the border. As a matter of fact, let me change the border color here from white to black so you can see California. There we go. This is Oregon, and this is California. And here is the border. So look at all that moisture streaming right in, up into San Francisco. There we go. That's about as far south as I can go with this imagery. But look at that streaming over there. These bumps in the clouds, that's kind of convection. It's really the jet stream up here, but it's quite bumpy in here. When these clouds hit the mountains, the air gets forced up and it just dumps. It really just dumps. Let me see if I can show you something here. Look at these. We showed you yesterday the wave clouds. Here's Lake Tahoe right here. So just south, it's about the same location in eastern California and Nevada. Some spectacular standing wave clouds right there. But this is the big story. That is a lot of flash flooding going on in the San Francisco area. And let me show you GeoCollaborate. I'm going to widen out first. Here is GeoCollaborate. You see the U.S. here, and this is the atmospheric river coming into San Francisco. And if I zoom in a little bit, you can see the watches and warnings and advisories going on. So we still have gale warnings in effect up off the coast of Washington. So you can click on that storm warning. That storm warning is for 50 knot winds or higher, so 50 to 70 mile per hour winds. That's really causing, again, more damage along the coast because of those strong winds. The power companies in the Pacific Northwest have asked the residents to expect a long duration of outage. If you're experiencing a power outage, it may take several days for you to get it restored just because of the persistent winds. You know, they can't put the linemen up in the bucket trucks with winds of 40, 50, 60 miles per hour. It's just not safe. They have to wait until the winds go down to about 20, 25 miles an hour and make sure it's safe with the trees that they're trying to clear and all that stuff. So that's why it's going to be a long duration power outage there. Down towards Oregon, you can see I've got the radar data turned on. There's scattered rain showers there going on. But look, off the coast, hazardous seas warning. Hazardous seas warning. So winds, and let's just check it out. I didn't practice this or anything beforehand, but let's go check out the ocean observations and see if we have any big ones here. The NDBC buoys. There we go. So they just popped up. So these are the buoys in the ocean that NOAA supports directly or through university partnerships. And we can zoom in and we can click on some of these buoys and see what the waves are. So there's winds gusting to 31 knots. That's not quite tropical storm force. Here's one. Look at this significant wave height, 17 feet. So 17-foot waves out there. You do not want to be in a boat out there at all with these storms. Hopefully everybody's tucked in their docks and marinas, and you're inside enjoying a fire or something just nice to relax in. Some of these buoys don't have data in them, but this one, here's one, winds gusting to 17 knots. Let's go down towards where the atmospheric river is coming in. This is Eureka, California. And we'll go down towards San Francisco. Wave height 9.2 feet. We'll go down a little bit further here. Let's go There we go. There's San Francisco. So there's a lot of advisories going on here. Gale warnings. That means winds are pretty strong there, up to about 40 to 50 miles per hour. And let's see what these buoys are saying. No recent data. Okay. Significant wave height. This is right near the where San Francisco gets into San Francisco Bay. 9.5 feet. So there's quite a bit of erosion. Anywhere there's beaches, anywhere anybody has property or anything like that up to the ocean, it's getting pounded pretty bad right now. 56 degrees too, so it's a nasty raw evening there in California. Here's one, 8.9 foot waves. That is right here. I'll close this. Okay, so just south of Salinas, California, right along the coastline here. So we're going to be seeing those kind of waves and this atmospheric river coming in most of the evening tonight and into tomorrow morning. It will start to ease off after that. But I do want to show you out towards Lake Tahoe. It's really interesting here. We have a major flood. These are flood watches, and there's flood advisories because there's flooding going on right now, life-threatening flooding. Up to the north, winter storm watches going on in the higher elevations, winter weather advisories. This second storm that came into the Pacific Northwest raised up the snow levels a bit to about 6,000, 7,000 feet. And that means that anybody who got snow earlier below 7,000 feet is getting rain now, which is going to compound the flood situation. So if you live in California and you're not in a hazardous area where mudslides or landslides could be, just hunker down in your house. And look at this area here as we head towards the higher elevations. Winter storm warnings here. And there's also winter storm warning here is Lake Tahoe area. Now, this winter storm warning, they're going to have heavy snow accumulations between 1 to 2 feet above 7,000 feet and 3 feet at the highest peaks. So above 7,000, 3 feet of snow, and then 2 to 6 inches below 7,000 feet. See how the snow levels have really gone up. Now, not only are they going to have strong winds from the southwest winds 25 to 35 miles an hour with gusts up to 55 miles per hour, but listen to this. At the ridges of these mountains here, winds will gust up to 125 miles per hour. So that's at the ridges. Nobody really lives at the ridges, but it is going to extend down. You can see 100 mile per hour wind gusts in some areas where they do have lodges. So this is a screaming jet stream coming in, that atmospheric river. And this storm is going to last about another day. I'm going to show you the model forecast here in just a minute. In the meantime, I'm going to switch over here to the East Coast. By the way, the cold air that's spinning around in this upper level low pressure system caused some snowflakes to be seen in the Washington, D.C. area today. No real accumulation, but in the higher elevations again of West Virginia, Western Maryland, 12 to 24 inches of snow. There are some ski resorts there too. They'll capitalize on that, I'm sure. But look at this down in Alabama and Mississippi. I'll turn off these buoys so they don't clog up what I'm trying to talk about here and confuse anybody. Look at this color here. What is that? It's a freeze warning in Alabama all the way down to the Florida border. Look at that. Freeze warning out of the Mobile area. And then down to the south, close to Mobile, a frost advisory. November 22nd, tonight, there's a frost advisory. And even in Mississippi, there's a freeze watch. So temperatures could get down into the low 30s in southern Mississippi. Wow. And I'm sure you folks in Florida are saying, what is going on here? It feels, well, this might be your winter. A couple of days of temperatures in the 50s and temperatures, look at this, a frost advisory all the way down around the Big Bend. That's an area that experienced 3 hurricanes this hurricane season. Nasty, nasty hurricane season it's been. But again, across Florida, look at this. We have small craft advisories. Just can't get rid of that onshore wind. And even in South Carolina, southeastern South Carolina, a frost advisory there. But I want to go up to the north just a little bit. And here indeed is snow coming in through Pittsburgh, snow and mixed rain into Maryland, and just basically rain in the Baltimore, Washington, Annapolis area, down to the eastern shore, down towards Norfolk. A lot of rain happening there. Desperately needed rain because we've been in a drought all up and down the East Coast, and this rain is very welcome. But even up in New York, look at this area up here, southeastern New York. There are winter weather advisories, 2 to 3 to 5 inches of snow perhaps there. There were winter storm warnings in effect, but they've been dropped. Doesn't look like as much precipitation is going to be falling there. And then kind of just nasty and cold and windy off the coast. Why? Let me show you the satellite imagery over here on the East Coast and what that looks like. So here we go. This is it's already nighttime. Sun has set on the East Coast, so I can only show you the infrared imagery, and that's what this is here. Look at this big circulation. That's an upper level low pressure system, but what's happening now is another low, a coastal low, is developing off the coast, and it's going to head on up towards Nova Scotia. You can see this enhancement of the clouds right now. That's going to funnel into Maine, but it doesn't look like it's going to be cold enough there for snow. It's going to be mainly a rain situation, but we're going to have quite a coastal storm forming. And let me show you the model data forecasts. I want to think if there's anything else that I wanted to show you as well. Oh yeah, here's a cool satellite image from NASA. This is the atmospheric river coming into California, and you can see that coming in. This is from the NASA Terra satellite. It's mainly a NASA research satellite, but we can get that imagery and we can put it to use and explain to you what's going on. This is a low Earth orbiting satellite, only about 280 kilometers up in, or 280 miles in the air, in space, orbiting the Earth from pole to pole, so we can get higher resolution imagery. See, look, I can zoom in there. We can see San Francisco and these wave clouds. And look at these standing wave clouds. That's what I pointed out before. Just spectacular imagery. We can monitor lots of stuff. Agriculture, crops, wildfires that develop. We can see those. And look at these wave clouds right down here. That's pretty incredible in southeastern Oregon. Standing wave clouds, lenticular clouds. Hopefully somebody caught some beautiful pictures of that. Okay, so I'm going to go back here to the satellite loop in the U.S. because we do have this coastal storm that's forming. And here is that spinning low way off the coast of Washington. Well, not really that far off. Matter of fact, up in parts of Vancouver, you're getting it now. You're taking it on the chin with strong gusty winds, on and off rain showers, and it's just a raw, nasty day. That's going to continue for the next 24 to 36 hours until this low pulls away, and then it just kind of hangs around for a couple days after that. Thanksgiving looks good, though. If you're going to Vancouver to celebrate Thanksgiving, the West Coast looks like it's going to have a nice Thanksgiving. Not another atmospheric river heading for them. The models drop that. So that's really very, very positive. Even down towards Florida, it's going to be beautiful. Here's some cold air coming down. We've got those frost and freeze advisories. Texas looks nice and quiet. So does Mexico, and the tropics look very much inactive right now. Look, the frontal system. This is a lot of wind shear. That's what we like to see. So we don't see any more tropical systems. The hurricane season ends officially on November 30th. Doesn't mean that all hurricanes or anything, tropical storms, will stop forming on that date. But typically, over the long-term average, that's when tropical season ends. And officially, the Hurricane Center winds down their operations on November 30th, and they can take some well-deserved vacation after this particular hurricane season. But as always, we continue to monitor the tropics, and we always will. So here's what I want to show you. I want to show you some of the model data, and what that looks like. So hold on a second. Let me switch over to this model. There we go. So now this is the GFS model, and I want to show you just what's going on so you can sort of get an idea for the upcoming Thanksgiving holiday. And here's what we have going on right now. We have the nastiness in the Pacific Northwest. These isobars close together. That means it's very windy. So power outages are going to continue in the Pacific Northwest until this gets out of here. There's that atmospheric river we just showed you with enhancements across the mountain areas. Fairly quiet in the middle part of the country. And then we have this upper level low that's spinning over northeastern Pennsylvania. But another one is going to develop here. Let me put this into motion. And this is now 6Z Saturday. So this is tomorrow morning, about 1 in the morning. You can see this low pressure already formed. So that's bottoming out right now. Satellite imagery should look pretty cool over the next, I'd say 6 hours or so. And that's going to continue to bomb out, and watch what happens. Rain closes in, and this really intensifies very rapidly, moves up towards Nova Scotia. If you're watching from there, it's going to be very windy and very heavy rain. Inland, maybe a little bit, some snow at higher elevations, but this is primarily an Atlantic rainstorm. And then look what happens in the Pacific Northwest. This low kind of pulls out. The atmospheric river moves to the south a little bit, touches some of you in south central California. It's not going to be a major atmospheric river. And then look at this. We got some snows picking up in western Montana. We have a low pressure system here that's going to form and kind of move out of the way, but it's going to be pretty dry. Just a relative low pressure center. Look at this wind. Boy, hold on to your socks during the day, Saturday into Sunday. Hold on to your hats and your socks in Maine because look how close these isobars are. That means very windy across Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Rhode Island, down through Massachusetts until this low pulls out. And now we're at Sunday night. And this is what I want to point out. The low pressure that came ashore in California is going to create a little low pressure system, some scattered showers, snow showers in Denver during the day, evening Sunday night into Monday. But I want you to watch what happens. Here comes another bit of rain into California Monday night. So this is much needed rain. It's going to help with any of the wildfire situations out there because Southern California hasn't really gotten much rain. More mountain snows and rain in the totally flooded Northern California areas, especially in the forested areas there. So there could be some more flooding. You don't need any more rain. The ground is saturated. You don't need any more rain there. And as we go on, look, see, this is Tuesday morning. And now the system is moving inland, some more mountain snows. But look at Southern California. There's another batch of rain that's going to come in Tuesday night into Wednesday. Not an extended atmospheric river. This is just associated with a low that moves in. But watch what this low does as it passes over the Sierras and gets in towards Utah and Colorado. So look at this. Yay, the Pacific Northwest is going to be quiet. This is Thursday morning, so that is Thanksgiving. Thursday morning, quiet. You're going to be doing a lot of recovery in northern and central California from all these rains, but at least the rain will have stopped. Lots of power can be restored. Hopefully you'll get your power back by Thanksgiving. But look what happens with this low pressure system. It develops in the Rockies, gives Utah and Colorado snow. So on Thanksgiving Day, there could be quite a bit of snow falling in Denver and Boulder, Colorado Springs, as this low winds up. And that's going to continue into Friday morning. So we could see anywhere from 3 to 5 to 8 inches of snow, even more at the higher elevations on Thanksgiving. And look at this, it quiets down on the East Coast, scattered showers moving along the west. That low kind of weakens and moves down through the south with some scattered showers on Saturday. Then high pressure takes over and kind of dries everybody out. Pretty strong high pressure. Going to be windy though along the Continental Divide and down into Colorado, down into Arizona and New Mexico, and also Texas. So that's the way that it looks over the Thanksgiving holiday. By Monday, when we get into early December, looks like we have another storm system coming up through southeastern Canada, creating quite a bit of wind and perhaps quite a bit of lake effect snows. But that's not till December, and that's December 2nd. That's what that looks like. So I'm going to leave you with this satellite image, the infrared satellite image. I hope this wasn't too long. I wish everybody a very happy and safe Thanksgiving week if you're watching in the United States. If you're not, please be safe wherever you are. Please watch out for yourself and also watch out for your neighbors. This update for the All Hazards Consortium is just a general outlook for the Thanksgiving week, trying to get you through this terrible series of atmospheric rivers in California and those lows off the Pacific Northwest coast. We'll be watching all winter for those. We're just getting started. This could be a good sign for the reservoirs. It provides enough water for people in Southern California to drink for the next year. So that's all really important, but too much of a good thing causes a lot of devastation and heartache for people, and that's something we certainly don't want. Thank you so much for watching. We won't have an update during the day tomorrow, maybe not Sunday either, but I might be back Monday just to give an outlook for the rest of the Thanksgiving weekend. Thanks so much for watching. Take care of yourself and have yourself a good evening.